Okay, let's dive right into this explainer. Today, we're looking at how Tron evolved from highly ambitious 2017 white paper into a massive network handling hundreds of millions of accounts. It's honestly a fascinating journey, and we're going to unpack exactly how this entire ecosystem operates, literally from the base code all the way up to your digital wallet.
Here's our roadmap. We'll kick things off with Tron's vision and architecture, transition into delegated proof of stake, break down how bandwidth and energy actually work, take a look at Tron token standards, and then wrap it all up with the top Tron wallets to use in 2026.
You know, when Tron first burst onto the scene, it was trying to tackle a very real, very massive problem: building a high-throughput, truly decentralized internet. Back then, legacy blockchains were choking on low throughput and insane fees, and Tron was explicitly designed as the scalable, high-speed remedy to that exact bottleneck. Tracking its rapid evolution is pretty wild. After a massive 2017 ICO, they didn't wait around. By 2018, Tron had already launched its independent mainnet and the Ethereum-compatible Tron virtual machine. Fast forward to 2021, and boom, it became an absolute powerhouse for stablecoins, issuing over 30 billion USDT. Hitting 300 million user accounts in 2025 was a huge milestone, and that momentum led straight into the major 2026 multi-chain wallet integrations we'll be breaking down a bit later.
Okay, Section 1. Tron Vision and Architecture. Let's look under the hood at the network's engine.
So Tron's engine room is essentially split into a three-layer stack to guarantee that massive scalability. At the base level, you've got the storage layer. This handles the core blockchain data and the complex state storage. Right above that sits the core layer, which does the heavy lifting for smart contracts, account management, and consensus. And sitting at the very top is the application layer. That's where developers actually plug in to build out the custom dApps and wallets we use every day.
All of this infrastructure feeds directly into the Tron virtual machine, or TVM. This is the lightweight core that executes smart contracts. Now, because it was originally forked from Ethereum, it's highly compatible. Developers can just port their existing dApps right over without having to learn a totally alien ecosystem. The TVM compiler takes that familiar Solidity code, translates it super efficiently, and processes it to interact flawlessly with the broader Tron blockchain.
Section 2. Delegated Proof of Stake. Let's see exactly who is driving this engine.
27. That striking number is exactly how many super representatives produce blocks for the entire network at any given moment. Rather than relying on tens of thousands of power-hungry miners, all competing to solve cryptographic puzzles, Tron hands the keys to just these 27 elected nodes to validate transactions and keep the network secure.
By democratizing things, allowing everyday users to stake their tokens and vote for those 27 reps, Tron hits an absolutely staggering 2,000 transactions per second. I mean, to put that into perspective, Bitcoin handles about 3. And Tron pulls this off without burning oceans of electricity. Every 6 hours, the votes are tallied. The top 27 candidates step up, and they get rewarded with 16 TRX for every single block they successfully produce. And by the way, that happens about every 3 seconds. Literally the blink of an eye.
Section 3. Bandwidth and Energy Explained. This is where we talk about the network's fuel.
Think of using Tron like driving on a toll road. Bandwidth covers the physical size of your vehicle on the network, the actual byte size of your transaction. Energy, on the other hand, covers the complex computational maneuvering required for smart contracts. So even just sending standard TRX takes up physical space, meaning it uses bandwidth. But the second you execute a smart contract, you're asking the network to do some heavy lifting, and that requires energy. If you don't have those resources ready to go in your account, the network just steps in and burns a corresponding amount of your TRX to cover the toll.
So, you're probably wondering, how do you get an easy pass for this toll road? Well, you freeze your TRX. When you lock up your tokens, you stop burning fees and instead generate a steady stream of bandwidth or energy. Plus, freezing gives you what's called Tron power. That's the voting weight you need to participate in the delegated proof of stake elections we just talked about. It really is a brilliant dual benefit system. It secures the network, gives you a voice, and gets you free transactions all at the same time. Section 4. Tron Token Standards. Let's compare TRC10 and TRC20.
Okay, here is the golden rule for moving assets around Tron. Transferring a basic TRC10 token is cheap, and it mainly just uses bandwidth. But moving smart contract TRC20 tokens, like the massively popular USDT, requires bandwidth and energy. Why? Well,
TRC10 is built right into the protocol level. Anyone can issue one for a flat fee, and because it bypasses the virtual machine, it's super light on network resources. TRC20, though, is Tron's fully EVM-compatible smart contract standard. Because it utilizes the TVM, moving TRC20 tokens burns bandwidth to record the transaction and energy to actually compute the contract logic.
Finally, Section 5, Top Tron Wallets in 2026. Time to choose your interface.
This breakdown makes it pretty simple to figure out your top 2026 options based on what kind of crypto user you actually are. The landscape has really evolved, and there's no one-size-fits-all anymore. It's about matching your wallet to your playstyle. Whether you're hyperactive in dApps, looking for rock-solid cold storage, or just want a clean multi-chain portfolio view. Let's run through the standout options.
If you're a hardcore dApp user who wants that deep ecosystem integration and you need to finally manage your bandwidth and energy, TronLink is an absolute must-have. It was built explicitly around Tron, so it doesn't treat TRX like an afterthought. It natively supports everything: TRX, TRC10, TRC20, even TRC721 NFTs. With over 10 million users, it is still the undisputed gold standard for interacting directly with those unique voting and resource freezing mechanics, whether you're on your browser or your phone.
Now, first shifting the conversation to hardcore security. Say you're sitting on a massive TRC20 treasury. Dropping $99 on a Ledger Nano X is a total no-brainer. This is a hardware wallet utilizing a secure element chip. So when you go to send a big chunk of USDT, you have to physically push buttons on the device to approve it via Bluetooth. Sure, it's a little less convenient for rapid-fire daily swaps, but for long-term cold storage, unmatched. Your private keys literally never touch the internet.
But what if you're a Web3 native who's constantly jumping between different networks? Well, MetaMask's massive 2026 integration was a total game changer. For the longest time, Tron wasn't natively supported on MetaMask because of the unique resource model. But as of January 2026, you can finally manage your TRX, your TRC20 tokens, and even stake right alongside your EVM assets in one unified spot. And of course, Trust Wallet remains an incredible mobile-first option, trusted by 200 million users for really seamless cross-chain swaps and excellent self-custody.
And for those of you who just want a beautiful, easy-to-read portfolio view of all your assets, alongside your TRX, Atomic Wallet and Exodus are fantastic. Atomic lets you manage over 1,000 coins, keeps your private keys local, and has built-in staking tools. Exodus offers a seriously sleek interface with biometric logins for mobile. Just one quick heads up on Exodus, though. It doesn't support the older TRC10 tokens, so it's really best if you're primarily holding TRX and modern TRC20 stablecoins. Look, before you start moving serious funds around, a quick reality check. You are the ultimate custodian of your wealth. Guard your recovery phrases offline like your life depends on it. Never, ever type your seed phrase into some random website. And specifically with TRC20 tokens, double-check those contract approvals. A malicious token permission can completely drain your hot wallet. Oh, and always run a tiny test transaction before you move a large sum. Self-custody is an amazing superpower, but it requires absolute diligence. So, I'll leave you with this to chew on. Based on the 2026 wallet landscape and those unique staking mechanics we just broke down, are you actually optimizing your own setup? Are you sitting there burning TRX unnecessarily on fees when you could just be freezing it for bandwidth and energy? Are you keeping massive stablecoin bags sitting in a hot wallet when they really belong offline in cold storage? Take a hard look at your own infrastructure, apply what we've covered today, and make absolutely sure your Tron experience is as fast, secure, and fee-free as it was always meant to be.